So students, let's talk about the document analysis assignments that you are going to be doing this term. There's going to be 2 of these assignments, and you're going to have to take a primary source, read it over, analyze it, and then you're going to post that analysis into a discussion board. And then your peers are going to review over your analysis and provide you feedback. All right. So I know this sounds pretty daunting, but let's go over what I expect, and that way we can ensure your overall success. Each of these are worth 100 points, so each one's 10% of your grade. That's why I think it's important that we cover this up front. First and foremost, the reason why we're doing this is, first off, it helps an individual to be able to read and analyze information that might not come from a traditional source that they would see. Many of you are probably going to go get a job in businesses, and you're probably never going to read another document from the 19th century again, but you may have to read something that has been written by another individual and be able to go through it and try to understand what they were talking about and their motivations for writing the document too. So going over this, each one of your documents that you're going to be analyzing is going to already be provided to you at the top of your assignments here. Okay, so when you come up here, you're going to see your course syllabus. As you come down here, this is your primary source analyst documents. These are your instructions, these are the grading rubrics, and then this is going to be the guide that I'm going to show you here in a minute. Your very first document analysis is going to be due on 9/24, and you're going to be reading one of these 3. Do not read all 3 because you may not need to. Pick one of them. A few of them are longer than the others, I know, but some of them are a little bit easier to understand than others too. They vary anywhere from a page or 2 to, like, Gospel of Wealth, I think, is about 40 pages. But again, it's narrow font and it's longer than it looks longer than it actually is. Okay. And then your second document analysis is going to be due on 11/19, and these are the 3 that you can pick from: the Ballad or the Bullet, Trail of Broken Treaties, or What's Wrong with Equal Rights for Women. You can pick either of those 3, analyze it, and again put the post in there. Now, of course, there are requirements for the post aside from just doing a post. Okay, your analysis itself is going to be between 600 to 1,000 words. You're going to break down the author's intent, rationale, the audience that they're trying to talk to. You're going to talk about if the document was effective or if it was not, what arguments you felt were valid or invalid, but really do not put your personal feelings into this. Look at it as a historian, okay? Make sure you understand that. When it finally comes time to post the document analysis, you need to do it for the first one on 9/24, and then on the other one 11/19, and then you are required to comment on 2 of your peers, and those are going to both be on the Saturday of that same week, 10/1 for analysis 1 and 11/24 for analysis 2. Okay, that way you have sufficient time. You give your peers sufficient time that they can read your analysis and they can give you feedback. Now, your feedback should relate to the material. Okay, if you're doing a response post, you should say, oh, I've learned this, I felt this was effective or this was not effective, or I read the same paper, I came to this conclusion. Make sure that it's valid, not something like, oh, good paper, that was really great, I'm glad you did this. Okay, let's be a little bit more in depth than that. We're working as being researchers here, and we're also being junior historians right now until I can make sure that all of you really want to do history as a profession. But overall, this is not going to be as hard as it sounds. All right, so first and foremost, I have provided you with a couple of kind of cheats. Okay, I have a reading guide for you that you should utilize while you're reading these documents. I would utilize this, pull it out as you're reading through it. Okay, you're going to write core information about who, what, when, where. You're going to understand what its impact was. And this is where you might need to do a little work yourself, okay? You're going to read the primary source and you're like, okay, I read it. And then you're going to go, but what does it mean? You're going to need to look at some historical papers or some newspapers or a history book and be like, oh, I see how it influenced this ideas and push forward this movement. That way you can actually understand that these documents do play a role in the development of humanity and in the American idea, okay? Many of them do. And this one also has your deadlines and what you're expected to do on there too, okay? So make sure that you're using the primary source reading guide and analysis. That's really going to help you out. And then we have your, of course, grading rubric. If you follow the grading rubric, you're going to learn this. As you continue on in my class, I grade off the grading rubric. Use it. You're going to be successful then, okay? So the grading rubric, 80% of your grade for this is going to come directly from your post, okay? Your initial post. This, of course, advanced is an A, proficient is a B, developing is a C, and below. And not present is just a simple 0 and an F. You hit all of these different elements, you're going to be able to get 80 to 72 points, all right? Coming here, your replies are going to be 20% of the overall grade here. Make sure you are replying to 2 or more student posts, okay? And you have to make it between 100 and 300 words. Try not to just make it 100 words and be like, I made it to 101. Actually take the time and read and come up with a well thought out response to your peers. It really helps them out in the long run, okay? All right. So this is what we're going to be doing with the document analysis. If you are struggling at any point, please reach out to me so that I can help you. Do not sit there and struggle and flounder when you're trying to do the document analysis. This is why I give you so much time for it, so that you can actually be able to deep dive into it, do the additional background research that might be needed to better understand the document itself. All right, if you have any questions, like I said, reach out to me and ask them, and I'm here to help and support you. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.